I think this is part 4 of the plasma stand. You gotta forgive me, I got my little ready heater going, so that's why it's blaring in the background, you can barely hear me. But so my iPhone died, or didn't die, but it stopped recording because I only got a 16 gig iPhone, and recording in this, resolution, I can't take more like a 20-minute video or whatnot before it fills up, so I didn't know that. So there's a lot that you guys didn't see on my last video. But anyway, so here's where we're at. I did go ahead and weld on legs. I did this one at an angle just because I'm going to do this little cool design, just something to mess around with. I didn't want to square it up, I want to do something a little different. I also did 3 points for the wheels because that way you don't have to worry about whether or not you're level or not, because you always have 3 points on the ground. When you have 4, you got to have like leveling systems if you want to. I mean, obviously not for something small like a little stand, but you know, this is just me messing around. With that being said, I don't like these little Harbor Freight wheels. I'm gonna get some heavier duty. I'm probably gonna put some big 8-inch wheels on the back and a nice big 8-inch wheel on the front, because it can easily tilt, which I don't like. But anyways, yeah, so I went ahead. You can see some of my welds. You know, this thing's all 10 gauge steel. This thing is, this thing is pretty flippin' heavy, and I still got a lot more to weld on it. So, you know, hey, doing a little retro Americana on it, man. You know, lots of steel, lots of welds, really heavy, and you can hand it down to my son. My son can pass it down to his, or they can just scrap it and make go-karts out of it. Who knows? But with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and continue. Right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the end caps for these. I don't like having open end caps. So I'm gonna put caps on those, and then I use my jet horizontal bandsaw, and utilizing that, I was able to go ahead and just cut out some little 1.5 inch squares, which I'll bevel down. Now, when I originally welded the sides of this, I didn't prep it or anything like that. For everything else, I have been beveling and actually getting down to the bare metal with the flat disc so my welds are a lot better. But yeah, so here we go. Let me set this thing up. Actually, no, let me stop here and then I'll get it set up for welding. I'll go back to welding with end caps on. I do want to point out that where I welded right here, I did leave an 1/8 of an inch gap, so the end cap should sit flush right in there. All right, and I'm also going to do a plate back here. Probably a little bit of walls just for so I can store some stuff back there. But we'll see. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so real quick right now I'm just going to do some beveling, and I'm going to get these end caps ready to be tacked on and welded on. So, Harbor Freight. People want to bash Harbor Freight because it's all made in China, but you know what? I've had this end grinder for 10 years, and maybe not 10 years, about 8 years. Never had any issues with it. Stuff like this, man, buy a Harbor Freight. You don't need to spend $100 on a DeWalt. This thing will last forever, and I've used this a lot. This thing's taken a pretty good beating, and it's still going. So, at least for home use. And I'm a huge DeWalt fan. But I wouldn't spend that kind of money for something like this. All it is a motor gapping this thing around. I know this isn't the best angle for you to see what I'm doing, but unfortunately, this is as high as this, hold on. This is as high as this tripod will go. So I'm just gonna tack it on top and then just weld around. This Cobalt helmet is pretty bomb. Seriously, $100. You get a discount, maybe if you got a coupon. This is a really, really good welding helmet for the home use. I mean, I'm sure if you're like a professional fabricator and that's all you do, I would suggest you get like the Jacksons, the Millers, or the, you know, whatever the speed glass. Like those ones would probably be better suited for you. But for home use, this helmet's the best purchase I've made for welding stuff. So you probably can't see what I just did, but there you go. Alright, so it ain't exactly pretty. We'll take a closer look after I clean it up. I gotta do the back two now. Alright, so it's the continuation here. So you look, I got the end caps on, you know. Again, I'm not the greatest welder in the world, but I think it's good enough, especially when I paint it. And then I did the back. Now the back, I said I flattened down because I am going to be putting a piece of, I'm going to be cutting out a sheet, a piece of sheet to go back there and make a tray. But yeah, I grinded those ones down. There's going to be a little tray going back there, so I need to get that flush. But the caps are on. And yeah. So hopefully next week I'll have a new phone where I'll be able to video a lot longer. But with that being said, that's where I'm at today. All right, this is a continuation of, I believe, I think we're on video 4, part 4 of the video of the plasma stand. So the biggest thing that I changed is I went ahead and put 2 wheels in the front. I didn't like that it was, just wasn't stable with 3. And I did leave them, all they do is they slide into the bottom of underneath, into the square legs. Here, I'll show you right now. Let me just put this in the holder. Alright, put this down here. Lower this a little bit. Alright, so I'll show you exactly kind of what I'm talking about. So all I did is those pop right on out. So these can be adjusted. This one I have to mess with a little bit, but these ones can be adjusted. I might put even a little bolt, I might weld in a little nut here and put a little bolt there. So in the event I ever had to adjust it, I could, but seriously, this is just a little plasma stand. I'm just having fun making this. All I did is I took that square stock, well, I took some small square stock, went ahead and just welded it on some flat stock. Put these two wheels on there. It just slides right on in. And again, I'll probably put some bolt holes in there, so that way it'll hold in. Weld some nuts on there. And then I am going to do some arms coming out like this and some hangers for all my clamps and stuff. But here's where we're at. So this is after today. And it's a lot sturdier. See, before, if I went like, when I went to pull like this, it would just tip over, and that just wasn't gonna cut it. Especially when I got a $1,200 plasma cutter on top of it. Just didn't feel good about that. It's tall and narrow, so it's top heavy. But I am gonna be putting a lot more weight down at the bottom here. So that's next. You guys will see all that as it comes along. But the stand is coming. I'm debating, even though I got a Miller plasma cutter, I love Lincoln. Thinking about doing it down Lincoln Red. So we'll see. Okay, so we still got a long ways to go.